Hey, welcome back, my amazing student. So I'm more awake on this lecture, I promise. So let's get to it. Let's get to it. Oh, I'm stuttering here now. So I'm really jittery because I got this energy drink, but it's a natural energy drink, by the way, all right? Nothing artificial, no Red Bull, nothing like that. Anyway, so what we're gonna do in this lecture here is create a filter here so we can filter the data and at the same time sort. Now, I'm gonna start with the front end because there is a lot of beginners out there, and if I don't show you what you're gonna be doing up front, then it won't make sense building the back end, right? I already know what's gonna happen, so it's very easy for me to go through the back end and imagine the front end. But you guys only saw the demo, but don't know how it works behind the scenes. So I'm gonna start with the form from the front end so that way you guys get a pretty good idea when we start doing the back end, how everything is working, all right? So I'm gonna create a form right here on the index.html, right above this table, all right? Right above this overflow at auto. All right, so here, I'm gonna give you some classes. I'm gonna create this from scratch because it's super important for you guys to write this down, and I want you guys to practice. I know the way things are out there right now, some people don't even wanna type, and that's understandable, but at the same time, you won't learn much. Typing makes you put this information somewhere in your mind where it's gonna stay there a little longer than when you're not typing, actually a lot longer, all right? So let me put an input here. This input, let's just give it, is a type text input, and we're gonna put a placeholder here. So I'm just gonna say search anything. And let's just see how that looks. All right. So it looks really bad. So let's go ahead and make it look a little better. So let's see. I'm gonna put the class here so that way you can see it like this. Let me make this a little bigger. You guys are learning Tailwind here. I suggest you guys take advantage of this opportunity and practice. All right. So on the X's and the Y, the X and the Y, this means horizontal, this means vertical, all right? So anyway, let's give it a rounded class. Let's give it BG gray. Let's make this really dark, okay? Let's give it a border. And I'm gonna make it a little lighter, the border. Just like that, okay? And I'm gonna put this in a minimum. Since we're doing flex, we gotta do flex 1 here. Let's make this with Tailwind. What you can do is you can give it this class in brackets here and tell it how big, how small you want this. The minimum that you can take this, 2 or 4 pixels. Let's do 240, just like that. All right. So make sure it's rounded, not rounder. I'm just checking to see the spelling here of this class. All right. Let's see how that looks. That looks a lot better, right? All right. So what else next? Let's go and play around with the, sorry about that. I got a phone call on my other monitor. That's crazy. Sorry about that changing of screen here. But anyway, so in here, let's go ahead and add a select here because we need to sort as well. And this select is gonna have a queue. As a matter of fact, the queue has to, the input here should have a queue right here like this. And this one here is gonna be sort, actually. All right. Let's just do sort here. All right. And this will have, let's just make it 2. There we go. This one would be name SE, and the other one would be the opposite. The desk. All right. All right. So let's actually put a class in here as well. And I'm gonna actually copy this guy because they're gonna look very similar. I'm gonna copy the whole thing. I'm gonna put it right here. I'm gonna take this off because I don't need that to have a minimum size. And let's see how that looks so far. All right. All right. Yeah, we need to fix that. We give it a button, give it some more classes. Well, I think this should be enough for that, but yeah, we need to play around with this here, do some else statements here. And let's go ahead and get a button here real quick. And let's take, let me see the selected. Yeah, let's take this. Put that on the button. There we go. As a matter of fact, let's just do this on the button here real quick, and no borders. And this one will say apply. Let's see how that looks. All right, it's looking a little better. We need some values here. All right. All right, so let's go ahead and let's bring this down a little bit. So here, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put this guy down here so that way we can play around with this a little bit. Inside the option here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say, I want you to display selected, okay? If sort equals, we're gonna get that variable soon, name descending, right? Else empty, okay? So yeah, let's go ahead and do the same thing for this guy right here. So we're gonna put that down and let's call this name descending. This is name ascending. Actually, this should be ascending. Sorry about that. ASC. And this is descending. So I'm going to put that right here. Hold on. Sorry about that. I took this thing here. Okay. That looks good, guys. All right. So that's good. All right, so I'm gonna put that in here. I'm gonna put that back in there in one line, and I'm gonna put name here. Okay, that's the first one. This one here would be the up arrow. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put one of these HTML entities, and I'm gonna do ampersand and up arrow. There we go, semicolon. All right, that would be the up arrow. So, and then this one, let me see this. Actually, let me just put this here. Let's just do the same thing here. As a matter of fact, this would be the down arrow, and that would be the up arrow. Okay. And let's go ahead and take a look at how this actually looks. There you go. See the down arrow and the up arrow. All right. Super, super cool. Let me inspect the code just a little bit here. This is the sorting. So what option right here? All right. Just making sure it's one line right here and one line right here. So that way it looks good. We can debug it a little bit easier right now because when things are like not looking very good, it's hard to debug it. You can see now that this is selected, you got a little check mark here. And when you select the other one, you got a little check mark there. All right. Super cool. All right, let's go back here and right in the input for the queue here, I want to make sure that the value of this, let's send the value back the queue, right? But we want to make sure we get no errors here, and we'll send an empty string if the queue or the query is not available, okay? Simple as that. So we got the name attribute that's going to take the query in. We got the sort attribute that's going to take the sort value in the back end. All this stuff is ready. So whatever's left is our back end to receive these values and do the sorting and the filtering with our queries in our database. All right. So I'll see you guys on the next lecture.